When was the last time you had communication with the Quinn staff?
Well, Saturday morning when somebody drove me to Chicago, but we didn't really, it was just a quick drive down to
There
the
was no
city back.
discussions or anything?
Nothing.
What was the time when was the last time before that then?
Well, it's been reported that I'd had conversations with them, and the reason for that was that several weeks before, because my name had been put out there, there was an interest in me applying for the job. But, Terry Link, as you know, was contending for this, and other colleagues of mine, so I felt that, I didn't want it to be a divisive situation, so I didn't apply. Many people had encouraged me to do that, and I'd always had an interest in running for this job. In fact, I talked about running for it statewide. But so it just turned out the way it did. There's nothing more to the story.
Did the Quinn camp encourage you to apply?
Many people encouraged me to apply. The first request I got was from DPI, and
was anybody with the Quinn camp, like chief of staff or anybody on the staff?
yeah, the only call I got was, "Are you interested?" And so there's a process. I went through it. I'm not trying to hide anything. This is just the way it worked.
Who's that call from?
Jerry Sturmer. I've already said that. He called to see if I would be interested, and I think that's okay for the governor to reach out to people and make sure that if their name is being floated, that before it's too late, that they have an opportunity to apply, and that's really what I did. And you know what? I'm cautiously optimistic, but I wouldn't be surprised if the selection was not me. 'Cause that's,
So who's the pick in your second bracket?
I have no. I think you guys got to find that person. I don't know. I'm. There are a lot of great candidates. I mean, there really are, and everybody should be given the same opportunity. Art Turner came in second. Dave Kaler from Central Illinois. Iris Martinez. There's just so many great people. There really are, and so we'll see.
What's your family think?
Well, they know me pretty well, so they know that I like to work, and for me, this is all about being a public servant. I'm not looking to elevate myself in any other way. If it works out that I am the candidate, I would look at it as public service, and that's what I'm all about, and that's how I've always been, and that's how I expect to conduct any kind of campaign.
Have you ever stayed at a Super 8?
No, but I think everybody needs to learn more about my background.
All right, Leslie,
What more should we know about you?
Well, I mean, that I come from humble beginnings, that my husband and I worked our way up, so to speak.
And you've obviously been opposed to the tax increase, and Quinn's been pretty adamant about it. Do you see some friction there?
Well, I've always been honest where I stand, and look, I had 4 town hall meetings this week, and I feel very strongly about if we go in the direction of any type of a tax increase, that we do everything we can to make sure that we have solid pension reform measures in place, and that we have looked at all the agencies, their spending, make sure that they're prioritizing. So we've done our job, and then at the end of the day, if in fact we need to talk about taxes, we should take that into serious consideration, but we're not ready to do that yet. The message hasn't been articulated to the general public, and I think that they would be understanding. They would understand if we had to look for additional revenue, if in fact after the fact we hadn't, if we had put the reforms in place that they're asking us to do. We need to do that. We need to do it quickly. So,
Thank you very
thanks.
much.